Finn Balor's officially out of Judgment Day. Let's look at how this affects his road to WrestleMania. Okay, so as we saw on Monday Night Raw, the Judgment Day are starting to implode. They've kicked out Finn Balor, as we saw. So what happened was 2 weeks ago on Raw, Penta faced Dom Mysterio for the Intercontinental title. He was looking for the ring bell hammer. JD went and got it for him, but obviously Finn stopped him and said, look, he's trying to do this on his own, let him be his own man, and inadvertently cost him the Intercontinental title. Then this week on Raw, we had Finn was nowhere to be seen. Dom was looking for him. JD went and found him, and he said he was going to do it out in the ring. They were in the ring talking about it, and basically Finn told him he was a spoiled little prick. Rey Mysterio was obviously right, and basically that he's out. So he hit him with a Pele kick and started a brawl. It was going all Finn Balor's way. Everybody was kind of waiting around watching until JD Mcdonagh stepped in, clocked Finn, and then the beatdown started on Finn. Dom went and got the ring bell hammer, put it in the shoe, hit him with a 619, and basically that was all she wrote. Finn Balor's out with the Judgment Day. So this has been going on a few years now. So obviously we've seen Edge got kicked out of Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley out of Judgment Day. Now Finn's out of Judgment Day. It's been a long time coming. I think this has been going on since, I want to say, WrestleMania. I think they had an Intercontinental match where Finn was about to win. Dom won. I could be completely wrong. I'm pretty sure they started sowing the seeds around then. It's been on and off since. It's been a very slow burn. But over the last few weeks, we've seen Finn kind of saying, you need to be your own man. I don't want you at ringside. You need to step up. Since Belfast, really, is when it started to kind of speed up. So yeah, that kind of leaves Finn in a bit of a predicament going into WrestleMania now. So obviously it looks like we're going to get the match we were all expecting. Finn Balor versus Dominik Mysterio at WrestleMania. But now there's no gold on the line. So we saw 2 weeks ago, obviously, Finn cost Dom the match, basically. And Penta is now the Intercontinental Champion. So how does this all figure going into WrestleMania? Well, originally, Finn said he didn't want to go challenging for lower level belts. He wanted the world title. It's the world heavyweight title. So it makes sense to not have the Intercontinental Championship on the line here. But I think there's 5 weeks now until WrestleMania. So could Penta drop the belt back to Dominik and then have it for the IC title at WrestleMania? I'm going to say no. I don't think that should happen. I think Penta deserves a good reign. And I think if he's going to lose it, he should lose it to somebody else. I think Dom's had his time with the Intercontinental Championship now. You could always have Finn go after it later. But as of now, I don't think that feud even needs the IC title. I don't think it needs a title at all. But as we saw a couple of weeks ago, Danhausen coursed Dom, so he dropped his title. Now he's lost Finn Balor as a friend and member of the Judgment Day. So will this course lead to WrestleMania? Another facet to this I think we need to talk about is JD Mcdonagh. JD has been coming up and they've been building him as Finn's apprentice, his kind of protege. So I thought they jumped the gun here a little bit with JD getting involved. I think they could have held back. I think JD could have stopped and kind of surveyed the scene that was happening in the ring before him and not really make a decision at the moment that it was happening, because he did come down to the ring with Finn after finding him. And I think maybe you could have played that all the way to WrestleMania. He could have been a willy won't he turn on Finn. Is he going to side with the Judgment Day? Is he going to side with Finn? I know it's difficult to get to that point going into WrestleMania for the next few weeks of TV. But I think you could have pulled the trigger then and had him implicate the winner of the match at WrestleMania. You could have had him maybe turn on Finn at WrestleMania and align himself with the Judgment Day fully for Dom to get the win. Or for him to try to maybe get involved with Finn and still align with Dom, but Finn still gets the win at WrestleMania. We could have done something like that maybe to have JD as another pawn on the field, as they say. So I think with JD jumped the gun a little bit, but look, he's aligned himself with the Judgment Day. Finn's on his own now, so remains to be seen what happens going forward. Looking at WrestleMania, I don't know exactly how it's going to go over the next few weeks. I think anything that the way they're going to look at the outcome of WrestleMania is going to be determined over the next few weeks of TV. I think we're going to start to see little pieces of that story come together, and we'll be able to make a bit more of an informed decision on our predictions later in the year, later in the few weeks for WrestleMania. But as it stands right now, I think Dom can take the loss. I think Finn needs a win. So I think at WrestleMania, Finn will actually get it done. I think there will probably be Judgment Day shenanigans regardless. But I think Finn gets the win at WrestleMania. It makes the most sense. I think Dom's going to lose this week coming on AAA at Rey de Reyes. I think he's going to drop his title. I think he's going to drop it to Vikingo. And then the stipulation on that match also was that he has to leave AAA. So I think he is going to leave AAA. I think he's going to just focus on the main roster then, which would make sense. And a loss at WrestleMania, and then even at Backlash, they could probably run it back, because we all know that's basically what happens at Backlash. So it could have a good stipulation maybe. The IC title then, what happens with that? I hope there's some sort of multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania. Bring that back. I think Penta's probably just going to hold the belt all the way to WrestleMania anyway, and I just don't think this match needs the belt. But then looking forward with the Judgment Day, are they finished? Should they stop? I'm going to say no. I like the Judgment Day. It's elevated everybody that's in it. Like, people are taking Finn Balor more seriously again because of the Judgment Day. JD Mcdonagh is getting TV time because of the Judgment Day. I'd love to see eventually, we'll circle back. Liv and Raquel are getting way more elevated because of the Judgment Day, and Dom's become a super heel because of the Judgment Day. So even though they've lasted the test of time already, I think let it keep going. Nothing but good things have come out of Judgment Day. I think, like, we got Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest out of Judgment Day, which have been phenomenal. Damian Priest kind of been badly booked since. But obviously Dominik's run has been phenomenal. Liv's run has been phenomenal. I say keep the Judgment Day going. So that's basically it. There's not much else we can say on this until we see a bit more on TV. That's pretty much all. I think looking forward then to WrestleMania and on, I think if Finn gets the win, I think Backlash, they'll probably run it back. I don't think they'll just dead the feud off right away. Then as well, I think we could have something with JD and Finn, because JD did attack Finn, so why not? Jordan Devlin, as he was known before he went to the WWE as JD Mcdonagh, as he was known in the UK tournament, if you remember that one back a while back, is a phenomenal athlete and a phenomenal wrestler when he gets going. He's very like Finn Balor, but he's a great storyteller also. Now, I'm fairly biased because he's from Ireland, but on the Irish scene in OTT, he was known as the import killer, and they were literally bringing over big talent like Gunther before he was Gunther, when he was Walter, Pac, Adrian Neville, whatever you want to call him. All of these stars were coming over to OTT, and they were being billed in these big matches, and Jordan Devlin's whole role was to take them out as the import killer. And the matches he had were phenomenal. Some of them are free on YouTube. So if you have time and you want to have a look, go and look up him versus Walter. They had a phenomenal feud across multiple months in OTT. He was using a package pile driver as well, which was a phenomenal move, and he was just great at executing it. But the storytelling, the in-ring psychology, the athleticism, Jordan Devlin actually has it all. So I know people slag him off over his head, and they do the whole bit with that. But he's a phenomenal athlete. So I think if you were to get to that match as well, Finn Balor and JD Mcdonagh, you're going to get a barn burner or whatever event they put that on. Even if it's on an episode of Raw, that'll change your mind on JD Mcdonagh. I'm convinced. But I think going forward, Finn gets back into the main event scene after Backlash maybe, and then going into SummerSlam on his 10-year anniversary of losing the Universal title to injury from Seth Rollins. I think they could build that. I think that's where they're going to go. WWE love the numbers, they love the anniversaries, they love the big events. So SummerSlam's a big four. Balor could go on a whole redemption tour on the way in about how he deserves it, because it's been 10 years and he's finally freed of Judgment Day and he's dropped those chains, and now he's probably a face. So why not have him win at WrestleMania, whatever happens at Backlash, break away from the Judgment Day after Backlash, going into maybe, even if he wins Money in the Bank, and then goes on to cash in at SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam is when Finn either gets back into the main event and he puts on a great showing, or wins a world title. So that's my prediction for all the way to SummerSlam. But obviously, things change like the wind in WWE. So it all remains to be seen. But I just wanted to get on and give me a few thoughts on Finn and the Judgment Day. So what did you think of the Judgment Day beating down Finn? Where do you think Finn Balor goes next? And what do you think's next for the Judgment Day? Let me know in the comments down below. And make sure to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.